All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to check out its local search and its city search, see if it's got BSS for either of them. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that, pinned video, pinned post, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our white FSIC graph here down below. On the left side, we get the highest intent peeps, people searching, for boudoir photography, shoot in their city right now. They're searching on Google, they're searching on social media. We care about getting in front of these peeps, so we're talking about BSS here in all these videos. And over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. Talk about those, our sister channel with the YFB ad doctor. We're talking about BLCS, and we're currently over there only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. Now, BSS, boudoir search sameness, that's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. 0 slots is terrible. That means we're on page 2 or deeper, and we already have the data. We already know. Approximately 80% of Google searches never, ever even hit page 2. They're page 1 and done searches. So if we're got 0 slots, page 1 is visible to approximately 80% of the market, aka the bulk of the market. If we go 1 slot on page 1, that's not good either. Everyone else on page 1 to get at least 1 slot as well. So we're blending in, we're invisible. And guess what a boudoir buyer is going to do? They're going to be clicking, everyone's link going down. Well, at least approximately 80% of the buyers will be doing that, clicking everyone's link going down, stay on page 1 only. So we're only going to be compared to the peeps on page 1. And they're going to be filling out everyone's contact form, getting pricing, comparing pricing, blah, 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 blah. Destroying our margins, negotiating, wasting our time. We're probably only going to get like 10% of contact form fill outs to, convert with us. And 0-1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So it's common, it's accepted, but to have such a few number of page 1 links, it's not normal. Those 2 deeper root causes are 1, market saturation, and 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. Market saturation, basically everyone knows about this. People get new gear, new iPhone, new camera, and then they're posting up their Google My Business profile, saying they now shoot boudoir. They got their website saying they're now boudoir photographer. They're posting the mom groups, saying they now shoot boudoir photo shoots. And so it's, more boudoir photographers, more sellers for the same number of buyers, which means prices come down across the board, makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer to operate. Now, second, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a new one. Most boudoir photographers don't even know about this one, but this is kind of the automatic acceptance or belief that, a boudoir photographer with their website, gets at least 0 or, gets 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And that's kind of basically auto accepted the same for everyone. And so if someone was, page 1 slot 10, then some market saturation happened and they went down to, page 2 slot 2. And it's like, well, that's the game, that's how it is. And they're thinking, okay, hopefully Google, hopefully those people delete their websites and Google de-indexes them. So maybe Google will bring us back up onto page 1. But this is 100% the wrong mindset, the incorrect mindset, because what we have learned through testing is that Google actually gives us as many page 1 slots as possible as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days using this new methodology we discovered. Now, so that's false belief page 1 equality. This is actually the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses because it kind of resigns the boudoir photographer to take no action because people didn't know they can take as many page 1 slots in Google as they wanted. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So remember, BSS, boudoir search sameness, having 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. So if a boudoir photographer has BSS, they got 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google, that means they're disappearing fast if they're page 2 or deeper, or they're disappearing slowly if they do got 1 slot on page 1 because they're still essentially invisible, not standing out at all. And if they're disappearing boudoir photographer, that's the the warning light, the red flag, the flashing warning, the canary in the coal mine telling them, hey, your boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing here. But thankfully, we now have a solution because we have discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we know this because we discovered this. This is exactly what I used to go from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google in only 10 days. And it works exactly as the name says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there when peeps search those on social media. And it serves two functions. Second function is kind of, it's acting like snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains down there in South America on the eastern side, the backside of those mountains. When that snow melts, which is melting all the time, the water drains into, melts into small streams, small rivers, and eventually it all collects into the large Amazon River. The large Amazon River is Google page one search, but it all flows, it all starts with the inputs of SQ methodology, saturating social search to enable us to saturate Google page one search. An interesting thing about SQ methodology, it's the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can enable a boudoir photography business to actually still grow in the face of growing and increasing market saturation over time, and give them this opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. The only other option for this would be, kind of get this benefit, would be to have a large, well-known brand to fight back against market saturation, but that doesn't satisfy the relatively quickly criteria, because having a well-known brand, dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years, dude. AI's here taking people's jobs. We don't have the time anymore. We need, a chance at much faster results. And actually, with my estimates, SQ methodology can speed up actually creating a large, well-known brand by approximately 8x faster than all the normal methods, because we're actually going to be seeing way more higher volume across many more surfaces and in many more searches. So that's where the approximately 8x faster estimate comes from. All right, so an example of SQ methodology. Right now, I'm deciding that we're going to Dallas, Texas, and there are 1 million boudoir photographers there. And we are one of them. Everyone has a boudoir photography website. And as a result, everyone's trying to super competitive, rank page one on Google, ultra competitive. We're realizing like, man, we ain't got no large, well-known brand. So, our only solution to compete here is to, crank up S cubed methodology to the max. And so we do that, and we literally get shown in the first 300 slots social search for highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. Those flow onto Google. Let's say we also get, first 300 slots page one, or first 300 slots Google search, and it's 10 organic slots per page Google search. So we're taking out basically the first 30 pages. And so basically anywhere boudoir buyer looks, they got to scroll like, basically 301 slots to find basically find one of our competitors, and that'd be, page 31 on Google. And as a result, since we're basically the only they can find, then whose business is growing in this scenario? Most likely ours. Whose businesses are, slowing down, disappearing, going extinct? Most likely our 999,999 boudoir photographer competitor businesses. And so this is kind of an extreme example of what SQ methodology could enable at like the most extreme end for a boudoir photography business. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots page one Google search, and every time we get a new page one Google search, we get the second benefit is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. So actually, through our effort, we can decide how many of our competitors in our area, in our city, are relegated to page two or deeper. And since we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two, effectively make them invisible to the approximately 80% of the marketplace, so the bulk of the marketplace, and put their business on the path to disappearing. Now, page one visibility activates Boudoir search visibility for us. This is where the GBC universe actually recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. That's a minimum, not a maximum. That's because basically everyone else on page one Google search will have 1 slot. So if we got 3, we're dominating them right away. And the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots, well, our 3 slots is dominating them as well. So we want to hit 3 out of 10 minimum for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. We also know that boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness has 0, 1 slots page one Google search. This is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. We now have the solution S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, y'all. Now my results utilizing this technology. So I want to dominate page one Google search for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. And so I went to work purely using S cubed methodology and let's see my results. Got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So in 10 days, I went from 0 out of 10 slots page one Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page one Google search, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. So main event here now. I'm going to take a look at this boudoir photography business and see, basically see for its local search and city search, does that BSS, yes, no, for all of them, for one of them, or what? All right, so we're going to Virginia Beach. Okay, Virginia Beach, we're here. All right, boom, we got 1. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 local. Let's go to city, closest, well, another city closest nearby. All right, so let's see. All right, we're at 0 out of 10 for city. All right, so local, we got 1 out of 10 slots, so we do a BSS. And city, we got 0 out of 10 slots, so yes, we got BSS for both. And also for both, we are not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've actually done your local searches, your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords for your area, and you either got 0, 1 slots, for at least one of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, and you've accepted that the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. And so you do see that, oh, we actually can take as many page one slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And you're seeing S cubed methodology is the only way forward. Best solution for you, best and only solution for you. And you've been waiting for something like this. You like the initial benefits, more slots, page one Google. You really like the more slots actually kicks competitors off as well, makes them invisible, puts them on page 2 to 10, makes them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace, the bulk of the market. And as a result, you're also looking ahead. You understand the market saturation. Yeah, peeps get new gear, they upgrade their gear, they become boudoir photographers, blah, blah, blah. But you're also seeing AI is taking people's jobs right now already. AI is going to get better and better, which means it's going to take more and more people's jobs into the future. So like, exactly like COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs. Everyone's got a super smartphone with ultra camera. Very easy for anyone to become boudoir photographer. You're like, way more boudoir photographers going to be entering the marketplace now. And so you're looking ahead, you're like, man, I don't need only these links on Google search. I actually need to fortify my position, page one Google search. Literally have so many links on page one that Google wants to rank them on page one, but there's not enough space, and they got to go literally like push them onto page 2, 3, or 4. And so you want that fortification, that kind of overflowing of links, to essentially prevent any current boudoir photographer from basically ever ranking on page one Google search again. and also any future boudoir photographer that comes from AI taking their job from ever hopping on, ever be able to rank page one Google search ever again. So you're liking that future benefit, fortification. You want to achieve page one visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. And as a result, you are also thinking about and understanding that executing SQ methodology every single day is, we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of plugging into your business name, brand name, social handles, website name, your name, out there on the internet, kind of cyberspace, invisibly. And as we build these up, we're building up this like back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum, which contributes to showing up here in AI overview. So every day we kind of execute methodology, we're increasing the probability AI overview displays us, which is the most premium slot here. It's the first slot, cannot pay for it, it's organic only. We're also increasing the probability that AI search apps recommend us as well. And when that happens, we're higher chance of being recommended ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Google or Microsoft Copilot. And AI search getting bigger and bigger every single day. More and more people using it every single day. So it's becoming more and more important. So it's kind of like a back-end future benefit. Well, we're kind of going to be going for page one Google search first, because that's still the king. But AI is growing every single day, so it's a back-end kind of parallel benefit of doing SQ methodology. And last time I searched for boudoir photographers with an AI search app. I used ChatGPT, looked for someone in the city. ChatGPT recommended me 3. I then did the standard Google search and like Facebook search, and dude, I found like 60. So it's like, man, we need to find any way possible to get recommended here. Again, SQ methodology is the only solution that enables this in a relatively quick way, or relatively quick increase in probability. And so you're liking those future benefits. You also like the estimated, 8x speed up of creating a large, well-known brand compared to traditional methods. It's because has much more volume on many different surfaces. You also understand my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you decide to be first mover. So you can actually get all these benefits and more importantly, prevent your competitors from getting these benefits and keep them, page 2 or deeper, which is the goal. Keep them invisible and disappearing, keep their business disappearing. And when you actually, you're thinking, if conversely, one of your boudoir photographer competitors in your city signed out with me first, they'd actually be getting all the links. You would actually be relegated to page 2 or deeper. We'd have so many links, we would make sure to do our best efforts so you could never rank page 1 again. We'd be building up their backend AI mindshare, keyword mindshare for their brand, for them to be recommended AI overview, AI search. And we'd be building up such a big gap that in order for you to compete, you'd actually have to rederive SQ methodology on your own. And when you do that, you would then also need to, then execute every single day, same as us. But even if you did all those things, the gap would still remain the same size. Because we'd be executing every day as well. So you'd actually have to double or triple our output. And when you do that, you'd have to, well, you wouldn't even be 100% confident to put in the time to double or triple our output, because still you wouldn't even know if you've derived the methodology of the technology correctly in the first place. And think about all the stuff you're realizing, screw that. You don't want to miss this opportunity. You ain't got 80 hours in a day to do all this stuff. So you're deciding, screw that. And you're deciding to hop on first, be the first mover in your city, block out all your competitors. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, but when the hospital opens for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S cubed methodology.